As public officers, we serve the people of WA. To maintain their trust, we need to carry out our duties fairly, with integrity and without bias. We must never put our personal interests ahead of our public duties to benefit ourselves or someone we know, or disadvantage anyone unfairly. This is why it's important that we identify, declare, and manage conflicts of interest. So how would you answer the question, do you have anything to declare? The good news is that conflicts are not that complex. It's a situation where your personal interest conflicts or could be seen to conflict or overlap with your work as a public officer. A conflict exists when a reasonable person might think that you could favour your personal interest over your public duty. It's pretty likely you will experience a conflict of interest sometime in your career. This is because we all have personal interests. They are part of what makes us who we are. Personal interests include things like our family, friends, membership to clubs and associations, business interests like property and shares, and a second job working for yourself or others. There are 3 types of conflict of interest. Actual is where a conflict exists now. For example, Mari is sitting on a recruitment panel and her son is an applicant for the job. She has a conflict of interest right now. Potential is where a conflict could exist sometime in the future. For example, Amira works for an authority that assesses grant applications. She recently joined a club that has applied for grants in the past and is likely to do so in the future. So Amira could have a conflict in the future. Perceived is where a reasonable person looking in from the outside could think that your personal interest could influence your decision now or in the future. For example, Sam works in building approvals for an authority. His wife's firm has submitted plans as part of a development and the application is being assessed and approved by Sam's supervisor. Although Sam is not involved in the decision, some may consider he could influence it. So now you know what a conflict of interest is and the different types. Now let's look at how and when to declare any conflict you may have. Do this as early as possible, following your authority's policy and procedures. Even if you think the conflict is remote or you're not even sure if it is a conflict, err on the side of openness by disclosing and discussing it and providing the full details. This way, your authority can help you decide if it is a conflict and make sure there's a plan in place to manage it, if one is required. This protects everyone's integrity and helps us maintain the trust of the community we serve.